What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Basem Hanna Podcast. Today, I am so blessed to have an amazing guest that I'm literally meeting for the first time today through a mutual friend, but this man is legendary. Today, we have Mohammed El-Dakhani, but most people know him as Medo from the Burger Factory.
Thanks, Basem. It was an honor to meet you today, Habibi, wallahi.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
Thank you for having me today.
Okay, so I want to jump right in because you have a very, very interesting story.
Thank you.
Right? Okay, first of all, for the people that don't know, this is a fellow Egyptian brother. So, I obviously already love him.
Thank you, Basem. First time today we met, and then, to be honest, I feel like I know you from way...
Actually, bro, it's like family.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely, wallahi. There's a good energy between...
There's good vibes.
Thank you.
Okay, so this whole podcast is about entrepreneurship, and it's the reason I started it was originally so that people that are young that when they aspire to do these things, there's not a catalog, there's no course on entrepreneurship, or there's not a lot of courses on entrepreneurship. So we want to give them real life experience of people that have struggled, grinded, and then made it, right? And you are the perfect example of that. And I want to take it back to the very, very beginning.
Very, very beginning.
Very beginning. So
before even I come to Canada, or
everything,
okay,
bro.
all right.
Talk to me, talk to them, yeah.
All right, so I came to Canada 2004. We're talking about almost 20 years. And tell you this, it was really funny. When I was a little kid, I always loved Canada. I used to collect stuff about Canada. And then watches a movie, I'm like, oh, I love this country. I grew up in Egypt, you know what I mean? We don't have that, the guy comes in the morning with the newspaper and then, throw it in your house. And that's very nice. I'm missing that, you know what I mean? And then one time I was on the beach and I met my wife. Zena, she's my wife, she's my partner, she's my best friend, I have to say that. And we just, eye contact, that's it. We meant to be for each other.
This is in Egypt?
That's in Egypt.
Okay.
On the beach, in Marina, to be honest. I'm talking about 20 years when Marina used to be the style at that time, right? Now we have Marassi, we have Almaza Bay and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so we met over there and then I used to be working for an international company, which is one of the biggest company in Egypt, which is Baggett Group. Mm-hmm. And I used to be right and left-hand center for these people. And then was doing amazing, but I always wanted to be, I feel sometimes, you know what? I have energy inside me. I don't belong. I don't want to work here. I want to become something. You know what I mean?
Right.
The energy inside me. And I used to be in very short time, I was young too at that time, 20 years old. And then, you know what, I'm going. And I remember that day I go in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up my mom and my dad. I'm like, hey, Bob, I want to talk to you. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I never done that. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And then that's the question that, hey, I'm getting married. I'm like, what? I'm like, he woke up my mom.
How old were you?
I was 20 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, you getting married? I'm like, yes, I'm getting married. And that's not only this. I'm like, oh, so what else? I'm like, I'm moving. I'm going to Canada. I'm like, what? You going to Canada? What's going on? I start telling them, I'm like, who this? And everything happened so fast.
Right.
Yes. And then, subhanAllah, everything went very smooth. And then I came to Canada with full of energy. Mm-hmm. I was so excited to be here. And I came and then I started working in...
what was the first job you did when you came to Canada?
Food business, for sure.
Okay, I have questions because I came as an immigrant, but with my parents. I was 5 years old when I came here.
Okay.
So I was I'm pretty Canadian.
Okay.
But you came in your adult life, early in your adult life.
Yes.
First impressions when you came, you get off that plane, what's life like for you?
Oh, wow. That's all I can see. He came from Egypt.
Yeah.
He came from a country that's totally different...
super overwhelming.
Exactly. And then that's what I was looking at. It's wow. Canada,
amazing.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clean, beautiful.
It is clean. I feel like when I go to Egypt and I come back, I'm like, Canada's very green.
Oh,
Egypt is dust and Canada is
I love Egypt. Don't think I go to Egypt every year.
Yeah.
2-3 times. I would love to spend at least 4 to 5 months in Egypt in the
winter
summer,
months,
in the winter time here. And I'm but again, I feel the quietness here in Canada. I'm calm.
Right.
Everything like clean, no traffic. I like it. You know what I mean? So
Amazing.
I came to Canada and like, you know what?
So what was your first job when you got here?
Food business.
Food business.
I love food from like when I was a kid.
Okay.
I travel for my food.
Right.
I used to take my car in Egypt all the way to Alexandria to go have a dinner and come back. You believe me or not? I used to be crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
So you're about the food. You
I'm a
love it. You're
foodie guy. Oh
You're
my!
a
I'm
foodie.
so
Obviously,
picky too. I don't
yeah.
eat at home. I ask what is the menu today for dinner.
So what was? Do you remember the first job? Like, do you remember the name?
Oh, of course. It was like in a Middle Eastern restaurant.
Okay.
It was with my father.
Yeah.
Allah, he has a very successful business at that time, and it's all about like Middle East food, and our food is like it's
It's the best.
It's the best, but it's a lot of work behind it. You come and
Yeah.
ask me today, oh, I want a whole lamb for a party. I'm like, wow, a whole lamb. I have to break the lamb and I have to put it with the rice under and then cook it in the oven for 5 hours. Keep watching this.
Right.
And in the end, you come into the party and then, oh, the people are over there. I'm like, okay. And I ask myself that question all the time. I'm like, what would happen if Basem order that big Korean order from me and then he has a lot of people, a lot of guests, and I'm like, he tried to open the lamb and it wasn't tender. It wasn't cooked enough.
Right.
Basim would be upset. He would come to me with the whole entire lamb and, hey, Medo, you know what? I don't want you to embarrass me in front of. I'm like, what would I do in that situation? I have to give Basim his money. I didn't make any money on that.
Right.
A lot of work, a lot of cabbage roll.
But not everybody thinks like you. Honestly,
I'm all about
that's the
smart
difference
people.
between you and others, right?
I love, to be honest, I love my people, but in reality, it's a lot of work behind it. I like to work smarter too, and I get exhausted. And you don't know how much work I put behind this.
Right.
And money. And in the end, it's not really profitable, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, you know what, I gotta do something right here. And then I came up with the idea of having our first location of Burger Factory. I was all the way in the east side. I used to live in Markham.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm like, we're gonna open my business. Okay, where is the majority of people? What is the hot city? I used to love Oakville back in the days. Oakville was empty. I'm talking about 20 years, right?
Right.
And like I came all the way to Mississauga and I opened my first location. And burger is simple, you know what I mean? And like I started studying, like, how can I make this one in a smart way? To be honest, with the Middle East food,
Yeah.
you have to be there all the time.
Yes.
You cannot go for vacation. You cannot let anybody run your own business.
Why? What's the difference?
Oh, there is a lot. You cannot trick us, Basim. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
Egyptian. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
fall in this. You know what I mean? You know what you're eating. I cannot fool back. I cannot tell Basim, today I'm making you like, a lamb shank. I'm making you like, some cabbage roll. You know what I mean? Even kibda skandarani. And Basim knows what's kibda. Basim had it in Egypt. His
Yeah.
mom makes the best,
Yeah.
food. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
for
I cannot
sure.
fall Basim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in the end, you need the owner that knows.
For high quality specific
Exactly,
food like
and
that.
I don't go low. I go high
Yeah,
quality.
obviously,
I
yeah.
have to. That's to
That's
be
in a-
honest,
I feel like
that's a part of my success.
Yeah.
I never ever go low. It doesn't matter what. Even in Corona pandemic, they tried to come out to offer me like everything went up high. Hey, Medo, why don't you go double A? Meat. I said no. I'm going triple A. Everybody else this and that. I said I'm not doing that. I don't care.
Okay, so
quality.
what is what is the defining or the differentiating factor behind Burger Factory?
Okay, so what got me into this? I love burgers, by the way.
Okay,
And I love
me
fresh
too,
burgers. Oh, big
obviously,
time.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't look like you eat a lot of burgers, though,
I
bro.
eat.
Yeah.
I punish myself. I run about 5 kilometers a day.
Oh, okay,
I do.
okay.
Doesn't matter
You're
what
the
I
burger.
do it. You know what I mean?
You're the burger.
Yes, but I eat burgers every day. Believe me or not, and I have to say that wallahi, I eat burgers every day. And I have a location near me, and then my daughter runs the store, and then she every night before she comes home, and then hey, how do you like the burger today? And get me this, and get this for your brother, and get that for your mom. So every day I get burger at home.
Okay.
And even if all family at home, I order through
So you
Uber
practice
from my
what you-
own restaurant.
You practice what you preach.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
that's
yes.
good. That's why you know it's good.
So I thought of like making something smart, not a lot of work behind it. Customer will be happy, and it's always fresh. And what is that? Burger. To be honest, all the respect for Five Guys.
Right.
I see that's the people that I used to look up to. You know what I
Right.
mean? For a fresh burgers, Five Guys, Burger Priest at that time, they were there. I used to be their customer. And then like, you know what? What I'm gonna do today? I start looking around. How can I make this one a nice concept? Like I don't want it to be just a basic burgers. You know what I mean? And then like, you know what? I'm gonna make some stuffed burger. And I came up with the idea of like a juicy Lucy. I don't know. Everybody knows that. If everybody
Right.
knows Burger Factory, knows the juicy Lucy, which
Yeah.
is like the beef that is stuffed with the cheese inside. Who doesn't like pizza
Right,
when
I
the
shoulda
cheese
ate-
like coming out like an elastic? You know what I mean? It's nice and melted, right? and I make that burger with juicy loosey, stuffed with the cheese inside. And then when you bite it, the cheese is oozing. I'm like, wow. And then the concept, the whole idea between the cheese and the meat and a brioche bun inside with the sauce, I'm like, wow, I love it. And you have to try that, Basem, inshallah.
I'm like, I wish I ate before we had this podcast.
No,
I'm starving, and I'm
we'll
like,
definitely gonna
I want to
meet.
order this right now. Yeah.
And like, and to be honest, it took me almost 2 weeks to try to figure out to put the cheese inside. Every time I put the cheese melted on the grill. Like, oh my God, how can I do this? I bought a different cheese, doesn't melt inside the burger. I bought another cheese, explode. I'm like, and then I finally figured it out. 2 weeks, I'm inside my store, try to figure out how can I put the cheese inside? How can I come with the right ingredient, the right topping? And how can I be unique? Okay, now I came with a nice burger.
Right.
There's just Lucy, but nobody else has it except us. So it's not like a normal hamburger, a cheeseburger, double or triple. And when it comes down to this, to be honest, we are so good at it.
Right.
I want something unique. And a funnel cake. I always like to have the funnel cake in Wonderland, Canada Wonderland. I'm like, you know what? That's hot. We only get it over there. You know what I mean? I make the funnel cake. I make tornado fries. Something that people like, wow, I want to try this. Even if you're not hungry, you still want to come inside and like, you know what? I want to have that funnel cake. I want to have that like tornado fries.
Yeah.
I want to have that juicy burger that stuffed with the cheese inside. And to be honest, Basem, from the first day, my sales was almost $300. And I used to be there open to close every day. And
that's not a lot.
That's not a lot.
That's not a
That's
lot.
not a
Just
lot.
for the people that are like $300.
I bought all my investment in that business. All my I used to work days and night. Try to collect my first $150,000 in cash to build my own restaurant. I started in 800 square feet. Okay. Believe me or not.
First location in Markham.
First location.
Do you still have that location?
I still have it, and I will never get away with that location.
Of course,
it's my first baby.
Yeah.
And then the store, like people start talking about us. At that time, social media wasn't that hot. I'm talking about 2010.
Okay.
2010.
Still hasn't
about almost 14 years.
Yeah.
It was only Facebook at that time, and then no Google ads, no stuff like this at that time. You know what I mean? So it was a word of mouth. And I start seeing people coming, and like my store getting busier and busier and busier. I'm like, now I have to hire more people. And then I start hiring an army with me at that time. And like people were like, the place is so busy. In the middle of the winter, like the line out of the door. I'm like, I sat down with my wife. I'm like, it's so busy. And I'm like, and then to be honest, before I open, I wanted to do something different. That's one more thing I wanted to talk about too. I wanted to have an open concept. I want the customer to trust what they're getting. Right. Which is like, how are you going to do this? I'm like, okay, I'm going to have everything like in front of a customer. When Basem comes to order a burger, hey, Basem, I don't cook your burger in advance. That's your burger being smashed right now on the grill. That's your bun being toasted. That's your fries is going to go down. So everything is made for you.
Do you find that affects time? So
that's my biggest issue. And then, to be honest, sometime at lunch, I tell people, hello, guys, I see the lineup out of the door, and then the place is so busy. And you come and I understand you only have half an hour lunch. And I wave and I yell, hey, guys, it's 1 hour wait. By all means, if you're willing to wait that time, by all means, go somewhere else. I can't. I feel bad. And you come and I tell me, where's my food? So I be clear from the beginning.
I'll tell you, I have a long history of working at fast food places. Like I've been McDonald's, Wendy's, Little Caesars. These are all places I've worked. So like when you tell me that you're dropping fries when the person gets there, I'm like, that's 3 minutes. Like that's not like however long it takes to cook fries. And then I'm like, and then you're going to make the burger. I'm like, every one of those orders is like 10 minutes. Like
not really. We are so good at this.
Obviously, so now you're good. Yeah.
Boom. I got a team. I have an arm. I hire chefs in like, big restaurant, like, it's like the big chefs. But even these big chefs, when they come and the pressure for people watching the show, basically, they're standing on the counter like this. They're watching how you smell the burger. Oh, that's my burger. They start holding phones and like they like the idea, right?
Right.
And I want them actually to know that.
Right.
And to be honest, at home I don't eat my food in the microwave. I don't eat leftover food. I don't like my food to be heated.
Right.
I don't like to go in the restaurant cook to my food in advance.
Really.
When I want to come and order barbecue chicken, I want my barbecue chicken to be raw on the grill to me. Even at home, I call my wife, hey, don't put the food on the table right now. I'm in my way. Oh, you want me to put it now? No. I'm 5 minutes away. Put it when I come. I like my food nice and hot, made for me. And I like to feed my customer exactly wallahi, how I eat.
I love it.
I appreciate my food.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we work very hard. What we enjoy here? You tell me what we enjoy.
Man. I feel you.
And
I'm a food. I like food, man. I chew slow. Everyone makes fun of me because I chew slow, and I'm like, dude, I want to enjoy my food.
Exactly.
Like, if it's making it its way into my
I
mouth,
thought something with Egyptian, but to be honest, that's with everybody.
Yeah.
After a very hard working day, what do? Sit down with the family. Oh, great. Where?
Yeah.
On the dining table.
That's right.
Having a nice dinner together.
That's right.
And after kids have to do their homework, go to sleep early because they have a school in the morning.
Yeah.
So it's all connected. It's all with a nice meal that we have together.
Okay. So you start building Burger Factory. It's starting to pick up. When do you open your second location? So your first one's open 2010. When do you open the second?
In second location, it was after 2 years, and I'm glad to say that it's been almost operating for 10 years.
Wow.
And he was one of my friends. He believed in me.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I love your concept.
So that you do a franchise model?
He came into me and in the beginning, Basem, to be honest, all I wanted a successful business.
Right.
Be my own boss.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I love food. And then I used to drive my car very happy. Coming home, I don't want to come home.
Yeah.
And I know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I keep telling me, hey, we're going to open. It's okay. I want it to be here. Sometimes the customer comes when I close my door, knocking my window. Please, bro, I came all the way from Hamilton. I came all the way. I heard. I opened the door and I services people. In the beginning, I swear, Basem. And I'm like, my friend, he came up to me and I like the concept and I think I want to open one. And I came to my wife. I'm like, people start recognizing. They want to open our name, but I wanted to do it right. To be honest, I don't like to learn it from my own mistake.
Okay.
I like to learn it from other people's mistakes.
That's
oh my God. I measure to waste and cut once. That's me.
That's a smarter way
How
to do
can
it.
I do this right now?
I'm the exact opposite. I am literally, I make mistakes. I learn the hard way all the time. My parents used to make fun of me when I was little, like "Mukha gazma," like you're like, you know, like they're like that's
you
me,
one of
bro.
these people, like,
Yeah,
you know, but
yeah, I learned the hard way.
you learn the hard way
all the time. Yeah,
Sometimes, to be honest, Basem, the price it can be big.
it's yes.
Because I read about it. Okay, people French. To be honest, I saw big names they went down. American chain. You know what I mean? Where do you see Pizza Hut right now?
Yeah.
Where do you see Kentucky? You know, KFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we grew up in this, right?
Yeah.
Wimpy's back in the days, right?
I know
You remember
Wimpy's,
Wimpy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm like, okay, how can I protect myself? How can I make my name? How can I have a nice, solid agreement between me and the franchisee to make it fair for both of us?
Right.
To protect me from him, protect him from me.
For sure.
Do it. And I started doing my own research.
Okay.
The first thing you have to do a solid agreement.
Right.
Protect both parties. And I contact the biggest lawyer in Canada.
Okay.
And it cost me tons of money, and I didn't have at that time. But to be honest, I gotta do it right from the first time, because if you don't do it right from the first time, guess what will happen? Cost you time and money, and in the end result, it wouldn't be the greatest.
That's true.
So I better do it right from the
And then
first
you're
time.
gonna have like Frankenstein agreements, because the first one, say you do a few not so great ones in the beginning, and then you get better, and you're like, I'm gonna make these mistakes, and then all of a sudden you don't have like a good system, because you have a few agreements like this over here and a few agreements like this over here, and it's hard to organize and manage.
That's my name that I work on, day and night, to build it. I cannot give it to somebody that, you know what, you decide in the morning to wake up and then, hey, I saw that, that nice concept. I'm deciding to make some chicken wings today. Okay. Wait, who told you to sell chicken wings?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a good deal on it. I think it's hot. Okay, but it's not our concept, and we are burger joint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the agreement protect me from you and you from me. But keep in mind, I'm very open-minded. I can listen to a lot of people.
That's fine, but then you implement company-wide, not one location.
You get the best advice from your own people.
Yeah.
I go weekly and sit with my team. Hey guys, what can we do? Oh, what did we do this week? What we're gonna do today? What we are like? How can we fix some issues? Like, you know what I mean? How can we make this better?
Right.
And sometimes the guy that does the dishwasher in your own store. Of course, I'm not knowing that person, but again, he can give you the best advice.
Of course, because he sees
and
it every day.
Medo, we can do one. And you know what? That's a great idea. And I'm not shy to say it to everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, that was his idea. He did it.
And if you give them that recognition, they will be encouraged. Them and everybody else will be encouraged to do more of that.
Family, Basem.
Yeah.
I have people that were working with us from almost 13 years. Believe me or not.
God bless, man.
Yeah, we are family. I'm never a boss. I go with my uniform like everybody else.
That's amazing.
Just it makes a huge difference.
This is the Burger Factory uniform?
No, it's not. But believe me, I'm always so proud to walk with my uniform.
Oh,
even
why
in my
not?
car, I
Of
drive with my
course,
car.
why
I have
not?
my shirt. Sometimes I don't like to, of course, to go shopping. And can we start? Oh, Burger Factory, Burger Factory. I like, to be honest, I want to be my own, but I always have my uniform in my car for emergency.
So you open up second location. How many locations are you at now?
Oh, 52 locations.
52?
Yes, 52
Shit,
locations.
I thought it was 20. That's
No,
crazy.
52
Yo, God
locations.
bless.
Like,
Yeah.
And then, alhamdulillah, we're international. We're opening the state too as well. We're expanding to international.
Amazing. That's amazing, man.
Basem, wallahi, I work very hard on my business. Every day, I ask myself at night, what did I do today for Burger Factory? And in the morning when I first wake up, what I'm going to do today for Burger Factory? I start writing things down. 1, 2, 3. I wish everybody wake up at the same time when I wake up, because I want to talk to them right now. I have a good idea, but I have to wait for them. But it's all planned.
Right.
How we can be better.
Right. Okay. So what's, one thing that I haven't commented. So like again, this is the first time we're actually meeting. So like, what I did is I have a real estate business, a real estate investment fund that I started when I was 26, and I'll tell you the story about that. And then I got into the cannabis business, and then I sold that, and I went back into the real estate business, like development. Oh. So the reason I say this is because if you're an entrepreneur, this is second nature, but is your business like a child to you?
Oh, I call it my fourth. I have 3 kids, by the way. I didn't. But yeah, I call it my fourth baby.
Yeah.
And every new location that opens, it's a newborn baby to me.
Like that's the thing that people don't understand, that like these things take a piece of you. Like you have to give something of yourself for it to be successful, because people feel authentic. They understand authentic. Like everything that you just described right now about your business is so beautifully authentic. Like you come in and you're like, I care about the type of cheese that I do in my burger to make it perfect, Like I want that level up experience with funnel cakes and tornado fries. Like that doesn't happen overnight. And that is truly the definition, or the reason that you just hearing you is like you understand the success.
Thanks.
Because you can hear the passion, you can hear the love.
Same with your business too as well. I believe you care about it. You always want it to be the best. You always want it to do it right. And mashallah, I have to say, when I came here, I can say oh, you're in a good real estate business. You are amazing, mashallah.
I'll tell you, what wakes me up, my goal is actually our community, right? I cheated a little bit because I came when I was 5 years old, but my parents came when they were in their late 30s.
Okay.
And I watched that struggle, right? And most Egyptians or most Arabs, they haven't been in Canada for more than one generation. Most of the people here are either they flew on a plane to come here, or their parents did and they were born here shortly thereafter. That struggle and watching that whole thing is what drives me. When we were young, we didn't have very much, but we had a lot of love, and the broader community supported us. Whether you go to mosque or church, that is the central hub of where, when you come, that's where you you land into that location. Yeah. And then the community picks you up. They're like, oh, you need a car? I got a guy. You need a this? I got a this. You need clothes? Here's a bag of used clothes, whatever it is. And then you level up, right? Then you watch that struggle, and I see my parents.
You saw your parents, yes.
I see them work. I see whatever. I'm like, if I don't work hard, I'm like, what was the point of them coming to Canada?
Yes.
I always have that mentality. Right? If I don't do this and take us from here and go here, what was the point?
Exactly.
Right? But then, and for me, I feel so blessed, because I feel like God gave me that gift. He's like, okay, you know what? I am going to take you from here and I'm going to put you here. And then immediately when that happened, I was like, if I don't turn back around and start bringing the community with me, then I've wasted my talent. I've wasted the gift that God gave me, right?
When did you recognize that, Basem?
Pardon?
When did you recognize this? Like, hey, I have to give back. I look at my parents. I appreciate what they did for me.
Yeah.
At what age? I'm just very curious to know that, because as a father, to be honest, when I came, I always want my kids to grow up here, and I want to see them successful.
Yeah.
But I want to know from you, like, okay, no. Now I want to become something. I want to do something for the community. I want to do something for myself, for my parents. I appreciate Canada. I appreciate
yeah.
the life that we are having right
Yes.
here. And there's a
We're
lot more
blessed.
I can do.
We're very blessed. I recognized it. I didn't realize I saw it, but it was watching my parents study for their equivalencies.
Okay.
Like, so my mom's a doctor, my dad's an engineer, but when you come from like a different country,
Yes.
they don't just like be like, okay, you're a doctor in Canada now. So my mom had to go back to school and do all the equivalency tests and all that stuff, and she didn't pass right away. Right, so like it actually took her 7 years to become a doctor.
So there's a struggle right here.
The struggle was very
but
like.
you didn't feel it because you were 5 years old at that time.
I mean, but from 5 to like 14 when
Yes,
she
you
comes
start
back,
to, like-
very formative, and like you see the tears in her eyes, like when she
Yeah.
she studies for 4 months for a test while she's doing a part-time, like, or working full-time, and then all of a sudden you're like, and then there's a failure, like,
Yeah.
and then like the crying and like that, I'm not going to do this, I'm just going to work a whatever job, and then they get back on the horse, you know, they try again. Same thing with my dad, and then all of, like, seeing that growing up. And then I wasn't a very good kid growing up. I used to
Yeah.
misbehave a lot. When I realized that I'm 18, 19, and it's I'm responsible for myself now, it all kind of like came together.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, if I don't make a very serious adjustment to my life right now, I'm gonna be
Amazing.
I'm gonna be a shithead. And then sorry for swearing.
No, it's okay.
Uh,
But that made you who you are.
it made me who I am.
Being like
Learning the hard way,
teenager,
man.
learning the hard way.
Learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Always learn the hard way. That's why my
Yeah.
parents always joke around about this. And then from there, I was always like, I wanted more than we had, right? So like I would see people
Yes.
with wealth or like
want
something, and I'm like, I want that. I want that.
And you reach this, you wanted more.
Yes.
I like
yes,
that's exactly.
yeah.
It's something with
Never
Egyptian.
stops.
Big love for Egypt.
Yeah, big love,
for
big
Egypt.
love for Egypt. But it's not just us. Like, I think it's a personality. It's a type of personality.
You think so, Basem?
100%. Because I've met people across the ethnic spectrum that you either have it or you don't, though.
I disagree, Basem. I have to like, no, everybody's Basem. I have to say it.
What's-
Is
no.
everybody's Basem? That's what I'm saying.
But then you get back into like, do you know like nature versus nurture?
Personality. Basem has a personality, maybe one of like, a million person. And then it's a hit and miss. A lot
Yeah.
of people always want it to be their own, having their own business, be their own boss, but do they can do it? It
We
means
try to
like-
help them. We do things like this
Yes,
to help them.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So when this happened, and like, because I wanted so much and so whatever, I would always be asking people for things, right? So like when I first started my real estate fund, I was 26, and to buy real estate, you need money. I had no money, so I went to like the uncles in the community, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm going to put this business plan together, and I did, and I would present them the numbers and the formulas and and just like show them, here's how much money we can make if we pool our money together.
Okay.
Right?
And they believed in you.
And they believed,
Very good.
right? Like,
Because family, or they know Basem. He has a great.
they know Basem. Like,
know Basem.
and again, the community. Like, actually, the first person that took me seriously was my priest. Like shout out to anybody that knows Father Angelos. Like, he is like he's a very special person in the Coptic community.
In our church in Eglinton and
Credit View. He was like,
Creditview, yes,
yeah. And so when I told him, he's like, call this guy.
I was in a wedding there recently. Too.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got married there. Yeah.
Yeah. You got married there.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, it was a nice vibe.
So he's like, call this guy. Okay. That uncle, he's like, I believe in you. I'm gonna like put together like a few of my friends.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do it. And we did it. And we bought our first property. And I renovated and I did whatever. And then thank God it did well. Then 1 property, 2 property, 3 property, 4 property, and now we're at like we do full blown developments.
Awesome. You were talking about like 15 years ago?
15 years, 12 years.
12 years ago.
12 years,
Okay.
2011.
But you have a vision too. You look to where you can take that house and then rebuild it, No,
I used to buy old apartment buildings, like small apartment, like 9 units,
And renovate
12
it and
units,
make it look
renovate,
good, and then
put
you
new
have-
rents.
I have to say, but you have a great taste. Yeah, so
Oh,
I
thank
believe
you.
that's what basically one
This
of
is
the
my
reasons.
wife. This is my wife.
I
I'll
get,
give her
still,
credit.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
We do it together, but
yeah.
you know, she's.
But I'm so happy you came here today to be honest to have an interview with me. But I'm very happy to hear your story. I love it.
It's actually like it's like same but different. Do you know what I mean? Like we walk different parallel paths, and I see you and I see, thank God, the success you've achieved.
Thank you, Basem.
And anyway, so back to to the original point. Like, once all of that happened, and I saw all of the like, once it started to be good for me, I was like, now I'm the person that people are asking for things.
Now it's time for me to give back.
I have to.
You have to, of course.
I have to.
Of course.
How does the community grow? Yeah. You know,
and
like
to be honest, that's part of your success, Basem.
Dude,
you want to give back.
Yeah, I like. What's the point in life if it's like if you can't celebrate it with your people, your community?
Absolutely.
And the definition of community has changed, because it used to be like the community I grew up in. Then it became like the broader Egyptian Arabic community. Then it became just people who share like my vibe, same wavelength. If they need something from me, like, then you're in my community and I will help you. You know, like, but there's not a lot of criteria anymore for that word community. But as long as we're together and we look out for each other, and we have a good code of conduct, so we're not screwing each other, then very similar to like the franchise agreements or whatever, it's like, that's what matters. That's what makes this important. So that's what motivates me. Yeah. Yes. Now, what motivates you?
Oh, back to me again. So,
yeah.
I used to be so happy, to be honest, seeing my customer coming over and over to Burger Factory. I used to remember my customer by name. So if Basem comes in line, I know that's Mike. I know Mike in line. I can see him when I was working on the grill, and I know how Mike's burger it's like. You know, he really like mustard and pickles on his burger only. And by the time comes Mike comes into the cash, he pays, his burger is ready. I'm like, whoa, people appreciate that so much.
Of course.
I used to be so happy. To me, wallahi, it wasn't about the money. I got to that point, alhamdulillah, Allah give me everything.
Yeah.
But I got to that point that, like, you know, seeing people happy, see people come after and thanking me for the great food that they have and the great experience. Even like, you know, it's a little thing can make me like so happy. Seeing myself grow, see me like go back to you and help in the community. When I see a lot of people that they come with all their investment, they've been working like 25 years in Home Depot or Walmart, and they got their full retirement money. And then, hey, I want to be a part of Burger Factory family. Yeah. I'm like, okay, now I sit down and I start giving him the little tips to make sure that he's successful. And I'm so happy to see him after he has something with his family. He come with his wife, with his kids. He put the family together in one business, and then he become his own boss and an employee in his own business, and then he's having it all. You know what I mean?
And you've just changed that person's life forever.
Oh, big time.
Like
I
forever.
have people, Basem, they have 2-3 locations. They come bring their own brother. They come bring their own uncle. Hey, I want to go for my second location and third location. Because they're happy.
Because they know it works.
Exactly. Most of them are my customers, friends, close friends.
You don't get to 50 plus locations unless it's working.
It took me, it took me a while. But again, I tried as much as I can in the beginning just to do it right. I tried very hard to do it right. Of course, you get like, you know, hit and miss right here, but I'm always on top of it. I'm not by myself, Basem, too. I have a great team. I have to say that. Great team.
Yeah.
I have a secret shoppers that he called in the phone.
Yeah.
He ordered from random location. And hey, I'm coming. How long is it going to take?
Oh, a secret shopper?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Really?
The girl will pick up the phone. Hey, if she has to answer the phone the right way. Hi, welcome to Burger Factory, Milton. How can I make your day better today? We have a standard. And if she didn't say that, okay, I want to make a replacement order. I'm like, oh, what are you going to have? I want to have 1, 2, 3. And then the way she took the order from the customer. And then he comes, how long is it going to take? Oh, 10 minutes. 10 minutes exactly. He goes there, or she goes there. She sits down. She sits down and she watches the person, how he handle customer service. You know what I mean? Wearing the uniform, the hat, the hygiene. And then she goes, she get the burger. She looks at it. I'm like, oh, right, topping, whatever, this and that. And then she comes after and she floats the card. Hey, I have a Burger Factory head office. I'm here to look at you guys. I'm like, uh-oh, okay. That's random. She goes, she opens the fridge. That's a product that we use. That's the meat. That's the cheese, the real cheese that we use, you know what I mean? That's the fries that we get, you know what I mean? Same supplier, and everything is okay. And then she start putting note, 1, 2, 3, 4. if anything, oh, you answered the phone this way, you didn't mention this, you didn't mention that. You know what I mean?
But that quality control is
course,
like,
I do this myself.
Yeah.
Everybody knows me. So when I go, they're already watching. So I have to have some people from, operation manager that he goes into burger factory and make sure that everything is going right.
right.
Especially with the location, because sometimes the employee comes and goes.
Yeah.
So how about the new people? Are they operating the same, like how we taught them, how we trained them in our location? So stuff like that.
That's what motivates you.
Exactly.
That's like
exactly.
the love, the passion.
What that tell you, Basem? I have a location that's been operating for 10 years.
Yeah.
Our agreement for 10 years. Now we're going to renew for another 10 years. You know what I mean? So become family.
Okay. I want to ask you some revenue, like businessy questions about the business. On a store level, what does a good store make in revenue in a year?
Okay. We're talking about. Do you really want me to say this?
Hell yeah.
I'm afraid.
Yeah.
CRA. Okay, so we're talking about
On paper.
1.4, 1.5.
1.4, 1.5,
Yes,
and then
yeah.
what are the margins in a business, in a burger business, or in burger factory, I guess?
I don't know. I don't really want to say that.
Like
but
range. Don't give me specifics.
To be honest, it depends on location too. I have location, believe me or not. It's very high number. You wouldn't believe it. Like, I'm just scared to say.
I'm about to get you like 10 more franchisees right now.
No,
Yeah.
it depends on the location too. I always tell the owners too. Like, we'll go back to this after, but I have location. They up to almost $200,000 a month in sales, 120, 150, 180. To be honest, I always say that to the franchisee when they come. Yes, I understand you are excited to have your own business and everything, but by the end of the day, you are an employee in your own business. So you work for your own business.
Right.
So you have to be there. And I get a lot of people, to be honest, Basem, they come with like, one time I got a guy with $500,000 in the bag and he put it in a table and, hey, I want to open 2 locations. I'm like, okay, great. And then here's my money. And I'm like, okay, so first of all, he thought like, I'm opening 2 locations. I would get so excited. I'm like, okay, so are you going to operate? I'm like, what do you mean? How are you going to operate 2 locations? Because I am the main owner of Burger Factory. I only have 1 location.
Right.
And then to be honest, I'm the creator.
Sorry, hold on a second. So you have 52 locations.
I own 1.
That's 1 for every week of the year.
Yeah.
And you only own 1 of them?
1 of them. Oh,
and you have 51 franchises.
Oh, yeah. And
man.
Basem, believe me, I still, till now, I when I got my business before my house. And I wanted to do this. I used to live in the east side. So I got the real estate. I said, I want my house to be only maximum 10 minutes away from my business. Why? Because if it's a snowstorm and then you got 1 employee, you wake up in the morning, see the weather, you know what? I don't feel like going to work today. What I'm going to do? Okay, I'm 10 minutes in my business.
Right.
A customer I don't give restaurant 2 chances, by the way, for anything.
Really?
I would never give a restaurant 2 chances.
Like in your network?
In any business.
Oh.
Like, in anywhere. Like
if you go somewhere and
I don't eat a lot. Exactly.
Over.
That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
It has to be like, something else to bring me there.
Every impression has to be a good first impression.
Oh, yeah. So when a customer comes to me for lunch because one employee decide not to come and show up in his shift, and then there is lacking on like how to serve the 100% our burger to the customer with a high quality, I can't take that. So I'm 10 minutes in my business. Sometimes I change my T-shirt in the traffic light, and I'm in with my team.
Okay, so is there a difference between locations outside of volume? Like, is there a way for somebody to be in your business and in your network and make more money than a different store? Like, one store will make more money than the other if they have the same if they have the same dollar sales? Or do you have it like very standardized?
Oh, okay. So you're talking about money-wise the difference for how much
like,
money
let's say that there's 2 locations. They both earn 150 G's a month in top line revenue.
Yes.
Will that translate into the same profit for both of those businesses?
Not really, because to be honest, like it's like that's how they say it. No, everything is the same. Like you cannot be having like I have a location in Niagara Falls in the busiest intersection in Canada.
Okay.
No, like in
Lundy's Lane?
it's in Victoria, and Lundy's Lane.
Okay.
So that location is just it's a tourist area. I'm right beside the Starbucks where all the traffic is. The amount of people there,
It's crazy.
day and night, summer, weekend, weekdays is just insane.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I go visit my own location, I cannot get in. I cannot get in from the amount of people are inside. You know what I mean? So of course, the rent there, of course, like it's not that the rent on the other place,
Right.
but in reality, you know what I mean? So
So
it depends
it's
on the
not. It's
location.
never like Apple.
Yes,
like,
yes.
But you try to standardize it as much as you can, so that whether you open one in Lundy's Lane or in Niagara Falls, or you open one in Scarborough or Markham, like it's all going to be.
It's all different.
It's all different, but they work the same way.
They work the same way. But in Niagara, they have an army.
Yeah.
An army. Like I see like 20 people behind the counter. They're working. They're working. And believe me or not, I don't know if that's actually right to say. They have their own room inside the restaurant because it's with a shower. People sleep there because they close in the morning.
Oh my God,
5 o'clock in
that's
the morning and they
crazy.
have to open at 11.
That's great.
But
That's
big
a
family.
unique location.
And I always say, to be honest, it's always good for family. When you come to invest in my name, go back to that guy that he wants to open 2 locations. I'm like, are you going to operate?
Right.
And he thought like he's going to invest his $500,000. At that time when I'm talking, it can cost, nowadays it's of course different, $500,000 to open 2 locations. And he thought like he's going to come by the end of the night, hire a couple people, open the cash and take the money and go home. Man, I wish it worked like that.
Yeah.
Might as well to have it for myself. You know what I
Right.
mean? I wouldn't give it away. But the reason that I franchise my name to someone, that we both benefit.
Right.
You want to make money. You are happy and I'm happy.
But you're looking for people that want to.
Of
be
course.
there.
When you come to me and you tell me, you know what, I'm not going to be able to, I'm sorry, man. I shake hands. I'm sorry. And in the beginning, when
You know that the biggest franchises in the world do that. McDonald's, you have to like.
You have to.
You have to be there.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I always say, to be honest, Basem, the people that they really take care of their own business and be there from day one, they are the most people that make money on my business. And then they come and they ask me for the second, for the third, for their own brother, for their own family member that they want to open because they see it. They see it.
Okay, so I love that, and because we're talking about like people seeing it, let's talk about your social media because this is very impressive. You have like 80,000+ followers on TikTok,
Yes.
50,000+ followers on Instagram. Again, this is like that's very impressive for a food business. Like
Thank you.
how?
Okay, so again, I work with a great team. So I have a great marketing company. Through the years, I've been with so many marketing companies, and to be honest, they all did good. But I'm always wanted to be. To be honest, I cannot be second person. I always have to. Like that's what always encouraged me. That's what always wants me to keep going. I cannot be number 2.
Right.
And I'm always proud to say that we are the biggest halal burger joint in North America. We are.
That's amazing.
Like yes, it's just I every day I wanted to see what can I do, how can I be better. You know what I mean? Back in the days, it was only Facebook and Instagram came on board, and then I realized there's something called TikTok, and TikTok is hot right now, and then I start reaching out to the good people, like, hey, how we can do this, and then I'm the face of the company when it comes down to social media and stuff like that because I love what I'm doing.
Right.
And I cook the food exactly. That's exactly how I cook it. So when I put it in camera, that's exactly how I make it for my own self. So, and I go with the trend. You have to be always up to date. You know what I mean? You cannot be. You know what I mean?
You can't do yesterday's stuff today.
You can't. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. What's new today? You know what I mean?
So what is all of this like, and like growing all of this and doing all of this? Because you did mention this earlier. You have a young family.
Yes.
Right? How was it growing the business, being an immigrant, growing a business, and then having your family there too? Were all your kids born in Canada?
Yes, all of them born in Canada.
Okay, so like
but again, I say that Burger Factory is my 4th baby.
Right.
And that's how I tell to everybody when they come and sit down with me trying to buy my name, hey, that's my baby. They need to believe in that because it's a reality. And even my kids at home, we all talk about Burger Factory. They come when they see a nice video, I go, Baba, I like that video.
Right.
Oh, I love that burger, Baba.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
When did you start bringing them in? This is actually a question for me because my kids are still young. Like my oldest is 8, so I'm not ready to tell him what I do. He asks questions a lot,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Daddy's in business. Yeah, but like, when did you start bringing them in?
They grew up in the business.
They were
When they
in
were
it.
young, I built them. I have a little office. And then sometimes I have to go. I have an important meeting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's something has to be done
Yeah.
at that time. And then, hey, guys, you're going to go and sit in the office, do your homework and this and that. So they grow up in the business. And I want to tell you, like my little one at that time, she surprised me one time. I have rules, you know what I mean? If you want to go out for lunch, first of all, I am not allowed anybody. If you smoke, you're not allowed to smoke in the front door. I don't like that. You know what I mean? No, always my uniform. I don't care. You have to change and go if you want to do this. If you go want to buy something to eat, you have to change and then go and eat. You know what I mean?
Right.
So one time, my little daughter, she was 8 years old, and then I have a new employee that just came and went out for lunch, and then Daddy, like, that girl did something wrong. I'm like, oh, what she did? She went and have a pizza. Like, so what's going on with that? She's, yeah, she's been eating burgers every day. She wants to have a pizza one day.
Yeah.
So that's not. I'm like, no, Daddy, but she went with the burger factory uniform. I'm like, I looked at her like, I raised you well.
Yeah, you know what's up.
You really, oh my God, here's the little boss right
Yeah,
here.
you're
I'm like,
hired.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
actually recognize that.
That's
I was big, I
amazing.
didn't know that. Like, you know what, you're right. So stuff like that, you know what I mean? I
So
actually
they're
sit
in
down with
it.
them.
They're in it and they love it.
I sit down with
I
them.
might take that a piece of advice from you and start like bringing my kids.
course,
In. Well,
of
my
course.
business is different than yours because it's like we sit in meetings. I've tried to bring my kids into meetings and they roll their eyes and they walk out of the door.
At what
very
point,
quick.
believe me, they will come. I try to not give them everything easy, but even you,
Yeah.
when you came here, your parents struggled, right? And then,
Yeah.
of course, they didn't want you to feel it, but in reality,
You
in the
see it.
beginning, you see it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Sometimes my son, I want to, Baba, he's in the basketball. Like, I want nice shoes. I'm like, oh, how much is that? I'm like, oh, that's 500. Oh, buddy, you're gonna work for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? I said, yeah, you have to work for that.
Yeah.
Come and do cash. Come and do dishes.
When
I
you-
get them to do that.
And when you came to Canada, you didn't have your parents here with you.
Oh no, I came alone.
Yeah.
Oh, I came alone.
That's tough.
And then it was very hard. I have to say, but to be
Community,
honest,
though.
I'm not a hero right here. A lot of people like that.
Yeah.
I'm not different than anybody else. Canada gives you a very hard time when you first come. Big
I-
time.
Like the first
Takes
3 to
everything
5
that you have.
years. The first 3 to 5 years.
It takes
suck.
everything that you have in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then after you start seeing, but your hard work, it never ever goes in waste.
Okay, I could literally talk to you for hours because
Me too, Basem.
like, but I want I just out of respect for the people that are listening. One final question: what is your long-term goal for Burger Factory? Like, what's the vision here?
I started already, which is people start recognizing me from all over the world right now. People contact me from the States. I'm opening my second location. I opened my first location in New Jersey, and then now second in Chicago, and then
Amazing.
going for Dallas, Texas, and going inshallah into Middle East too as well.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like
It's halal, so you're good, bro.
I love my name
Yeah.
so much. I sometimes people reach out to me and then, hey, I took the first plane going to this country. My wife, are you going with me? I said, I don't care. I will work. That's just me. I loved, even if it didn't go through, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to go. When it comes down to location, I take my own car and drive around and make sure. To be honest, I have a great team, and I have to mention that they do a lot from
Right.
behind the scene. But when it comes down to two things, locations, I have to pick that location myself, and I have to go and see it before it opens. Even though I have a location in British Columbia,
You still go there every single
Calgary,
location.
I have to.
So
Alberta, I have to. Chicago, I fly all the way to Chicago. New Jersey, I fly all the way to New Jersey. I choose my location. I check my location. Oh, that's the right one. I take it beside McDonald's, across from Burger King. That's where I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm supposed
Stealing
to be.
customers.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I swear to God. That's what I'm supposed to
product's
be.
better.
Oh, it's okay to be beside McDonald's. I said, yeah, I don't care. I like the competition.
in 5 years, how many locations do you think you have?
Oh, 150 locations, inshallah. 150 locations.
I believe that. I actually think
Already,
you're gonna have more.
my
Just-
franchise, the franchisee manager, like he calling me, like, we run out of locations. We run out of it. Right now we go out. I like, well, they come. We have 7 locations in Mississauga, the city that I started with.
Yeah.
We have 7 locations already. There is no more. People want to come in Mississauga. I'm sorry, I don't have anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going out right now.
Just knowing you and meeting you right now, I have no doubt you'll get to 150. I actually think you're going to get way more than
Yes,
150
way more,
in
inshallah.
5
Working
years.
on
I think
it.
you get to 150 in like 3 years.
Thanks, Basem.
Yeah.
But I do it right again, wallahi. I give access
you
to
can
a
hear
lot-
that, bro.
I
You
give
can hear
access
it.
to a lot of people because, again, you come into my family it's not me alone right now. I have a lot of people behind that name.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people that they invested their money into this business.
It's their
if you're
name
not gonna
too
run it
now.
the
Like, it's
proper
your
way,
name, but it's
you're
their
not only
name.
affecting me, you're affecting them, and I'm not gonna accept this.
I love that.
So please, you have to take care of your name. And I get it a lot. And I say, sorry. Uncle, you don't want to give me? I said, I'm sorry, I can't. I can't.
A piece of parting advice for anybody, any entrepreneur, or any kid that's watching this that sees this and is inspired. Something to tell them. You can talk to that camera. Tell them.
Okay, so nothing comes easy. You need to work. Believe in yourself for sure. Take care of it. Take care of it. Like, give it 100%. Even if you fail, you still learn something, and then you're gonna try again and again, and then definitely you will reach your goal in the end. I work very hard day and night. I start with one location, and again, I see it every day. I see in people's eyes when they come and then they have a successful business, and then it all started from two people, and then me and my partner, my wife, and then now from 2 employees to almost 2,000 employees. We provide jobs for people, and then alhamdulillah. But again, nothing comes easy. Be unique, be yourself. Don't try to copy. And even though if you try to do something that somebody else did, be different. Try to be different. That's all I can say.
Dude, that's a lot.
Oh.
That's amazing, bro. You gave like the whole secret, the whole formula
Wallahi,
for
Basem.
success, man. Medo, thank you so much for coming.
You,
like,
Basem. I'm
this
honored.
is, I want to do this. I actually want to do this again in a year
Inshallah.
and see where you are, because I guarantee you it's going to be like triple digits.
Thanks, Basem. Wallah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to see you today and meet you. And then
Me
it was
too,
like,
man.
I was so comfortable. It's a great conversation. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's my
and
pleasure.
Then
I
your
could have done
story
this
too,
forever,
it's very
dude.
inspired too as well. Wallahi.
We need to have a to be continued. Like,
Absolutely. We will see, inshallah.
You are welcome anytime.
I'll be more than happy, of course, Basem, to be with you. And then I love your show. It's been amazing. And then I become a big fan now.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Wish you all the best too, Basem.
Man.
And thank you for everybody that watching us today. I hope so they like it, inshallah.
Yeah, great. They will. They'll love it. Well, that's our podcast for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, your likes, follows, and shares are greatly appreciated. Until next time, have a good one.